Hi there. Today I'm sitting 18 stories up from the Tamiami Trail in Sarasota, Florida, on the top floor of the beautiful Embassy Suites Hotel. And I wanted to tell you about a website whose email newsletter I get every day. The website is called blog.thediscoverer.com, and I'll have a link in the description. This article describes 8 interesting places across the United States that you can visit, and even includes a map showing a route across the country with each location. Starting way up in the northeastern United States, you've got the Desert of Maine in Freeport, Maine. Maine is a state with an abundance of water and trees, about as far as you could get from any idea of a desert. And that's why the Desert of Maine is so strange. It's about 40 acres of sand and silt, and it's a shock to the senses. How can this be in a state that averages 46 inches of rain every year? Well, it seems that a combination of glacial silt and incorrect farming practices turned this once lush farmland into a desert-like landscape over 200 years ago. It's surrounded by deciduous trees and conifers, but the land itself remains strangely barren, making it a great start for the beginning of this road trip. Next in New York, the world's largest Kaleidoscope at Mount Trimper, New York. It's located in a silo at the Emerson Spa and Resort in the Catskill Mountains. It was designed by a world-renowned kaleidoscope artist. This roadside attraction is a visual and auditory experience with music, lights, and mirrors for an enhanced kaleidoscope experience. 56 feet tall, it is officially the largest kaleidoscope in the world, certified by the Guinness Book of World Records, according to Emerson Spa and Resorts. Tourists, hippies, and kaleidoscope enthusiasts from all over the planet love it, and I think you will too. Next on our trip across the country, in York County, Pennsylvania, we have the Haines Shoe House. Remember the old woman who lived in a shoe? Originally built in 1948, the Haines Shoe House was conceptualized by Colonel Haines, who owned several shoe stores at the time, and built this shoe house as a marketing strategy. He did stay there himself sometimes, but he offered up his home to honeymooners who had purchased his wares. The current owners still open up their unique shoe-shaped abode to passers-by for tours and ice cream, making it an interesting and fun stop along the way. Next, down in Natural Bridge, Virginia, we have the Dinosaur Kingdom 2. Now, this isn't just any roadside dinosaur attraction. It also includes some history, for it is that Dinosaur Kingdom 2's elaborate scenes depict epic battles between Civil War soldiers and dinosaurs. You'll see such characters as Abraham Lincoln, Stonewall Jackson, and a mad scientist whose time machine is responsible for all this mix-up. This roadside attraction comes with a background story that explains the fantastic circumstances and is certainly worth a visit if you're willing to suspend your disbelief in time travel for an hour or so. Moving right along, we have the Lost Sea in Sweetwater, Tennessee. This one is listed in the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's largest underground lake. Discovered a little over 100 years ago, the Lost Sea is hidden inside a network of underground caves in Tennessee. To reach it, visitors first descend into the depths of the cave, 140 feet below ground. Then glass-bottom boats are available for traversing the 4-acre lake. 4 acres, that's a pretty decent-sized lake, and underground at that. The lake extends into several other water-filled rooms that are only accessible by cave divers. Next, we move across the United States to find Carhenge in Alliance, Nebraska. If for some reason you're not quite ready to go all the way to England to see Stonehenge, then perhaps Carhenge in Nebraska will fix you right up. It's built with 39 cars and covered entirely in gray spray paint and was dedicated on the summer solstice. Far from any major roadways, it's a bit off the beaten path, but worth the extra miles. Rhyolite is a ghost town near Death Valley. and it was a gold rush settlement occupied for a brief period in the early 1900s. Nearby stands an installation of 12 hooded, faceless figures dressed in white. This life-size sculpture was inspired by Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper. The artist who created this Last Supper found that the desert landscape here reminded him of the Holy Land, and so he created this sculpture. Whether you find it odd or amazing, you might as well stop and check it out for yourself. Last on this list is the Winchester Mystery House in San Jose, California. This is a 24,000 square foot mansion not far from the Pacific coast, originally built in 1886 by Sarah Pardee Winchester, heir to the Winchester gun fortune. She continued to add on to the house for 38 years. As a result, the house is, of course, massive, and it has several oddities such as doors and stairways that lead to nowhere, secret passages, and a seance room. Whether you believe that Ms. Winchester was brilliantly imaginative or just plain spooky, it is an amazing property to visit. Thank you so much for watching. I'd like to ask you to please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Click that little bell so you can be notified when another video comes out. Also, please click that like button if you enjoyed this video. And if you particularly like this kind of video, let me know in the comments, and I'll do more along these lines. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.